Hi, my name is Bill, and today I'm going to be showing you how to replace or install a garbage disposal. The reason why you might have to do this is because your old garbage disposal is no longer working, or because you don't have one in the first place and you want to put one in. For this repair, we'll be using a Flathead screwdriver, a Phillips head screwdriver, a putty knife, a hammer, a couple of wire nuts, and a serrated knife or a hacksaw. You also may need to use some plumber's putty. The first thing we need to do is find the circuit that goes to the disposal and turn that off. So after we've verified that there's no more electricity running to our unit, we're going to start to unhook the old one. So right here we have a drain line from our dishwasher into the disposal that we have to disconnect. We've also got the main pipe from the disposal and out, and then we've got our electric wires right here. So I'm going to start at the top and just work my way down. And once that's loose, just pull it right off. And now we'll just get that out of the way. So the next thing I'm going to do is remove this pipe here. The easiest way to do that is going to be to get the screws out here. So now that those screws are off, I'm going to move this down and that'll pull out, and we just twist it out of the way. So for the disposal unit here, just as a kind of a better shot, since you won't be able to see it under the sink, what we've got here is this locking mechanism. So to get this off from the flange up top, you're going to want to twist the metal piece right here, and that'll come off, and then you'll be able to remove your disposal. When you're putting it back on, same thing. You're going to line up this little knob right here with the hole and then turn it. And you want to turn it as much as you can. And once you got it locked into place, you should be good to go. And now you're going to want to twist the old disposal off. If you're having a hard time like I was, you can just start by pounding it a little bit with a hammer. But once you got it loose, it'll come right off. So now that we've got that down, you've got to get this screw out and get into the panel here. And I'm just going to pull these out and show you. So you can see right here, the way that these are connected. It's got a couple of wire nuts on it. So you're just going to unscrew the wire nut on both of these. And you're going to untwist the wires and separate them. So these ones are the ones that go into our old disposal. These are the ones that are going into our outlet. So we're going to have to get these out now. So the next thing that we're going to do is loosen up this screw here. And once that's loose enough, it should just pull right out. And with these wires here, they're a bit rigid, so we just have to kind of bend them so they're straight, and then we can pull them out. And now we'll get rid of our old disposal. Now we have to take the old sink flange out. To do that, we're going to remove these 3 screws. Now this is nice and loose, so we can kind of just twist that and get all that old seal out of there. And now that we've twisted it a bit, that's kind of loosened up this top piece here. So I'm just going to pull down on it. And again, kind of twist it. There's some putty and stuff from the old one. Gonna hold it in place with a couple twists. We'll get all that old stuff out of there. And now I've got a retaining ring, and I'm just using a flathead screwdriver, and I'm going to pry that off. And I'm going to hold on to this stuff so it doesn't fall down on me. And now you should be able to push up the old sink flange. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to use a wet paper towel and just get the rest of this old plumber's putty out of here. Clean it all off so I can make room for the new stuff. Do as best as you can to get it all off. You want to make sure that we've got a nice watertight seal. Now I'm just going to use a dry paper towel and make sure we dry our sink out right where we're going to be putting our new flange and putty. So this is the disposal we're going to be using. It's a Whirlpool GC1000, and it comes with the disposal unit itself. It comes with a flange that connects the sink to the disposal. It's got a stopper here, as well as a couple of accessories such as an extra tube and parts that are going to connect from your disposal into your drain pipe. And then this metal piece comes off. Now we're going to unscrew the plastic piece here. Set that off to the side. Now we've got a couple of gaskets. This gasket is going to come up underneath, and I'll show you that. And then this rubber gasket, if you look at the instructions, says for stainless steel sinks. We don't have a stainless steel sink here, so that's why we're using the plumber's putty. But if you do have a stainless steel sink, instead of using the plumber's putty, you would use this rubber gasket as it says in the instructions. So now we're going to put the flange in. When you do that, you can set it down and then just push down to get a nice seal on there. And before we cut this putty, so we're not doing it twice, we're just going to go underneath and put our other gaskets and flanges on, tighten it up, and that'll expose some more of the putty when it gets tighter, and we'll cut it all off. So from the bottom here, you can see some of the putty came out through here as well. So we'll remove that excess putty real quick, or you can kind of just push it up in there. Either way is fine. Well, we just have to get it out of the way of our threads. So now we're going to put on our first gasket here. That'll go all the way up to the top. Putty helps it stick to the top there. And now we've got this flange here. And the way that you can tell which way it's supposed to go, there's an arrow facing up on it. So you make sure that's pointing up, and we can screw that on. And we'll screw that on nice and tight. And once you can't screw it on anymore, you can take a look at the top and see all the extra putty that's squished out, and then we'll clean that up. So you can see here, we've got a nice tight seal now. It's squished out some more putty. So this is actually pretty easy. I can take it out by hand. Get all that extra putty out, and then what you can do is you can kind of squish it all together and use it to get anything else that you might have missed. Or if you're having a hard time, like with this stuff right here, you get a putty knife or other tool with a blade and just scrape the rest out. Now we're putting this back up here, and you're going to want to make sure that you put it on the right way. You'll know it's the right way because the bottom here has this part that'll connect onto your disposal. So you just put it right up in there. Then we'll get our rubber gasket. You're going to make sure you put it on the same way you took it off. This piece faces up with the widest part at the bottom. Might be a little bit difficult. You just have to kind of work it around as best as you can. But it'll snap into place just like that. And now you've got everything ready to put the disposal on. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull out this old pipe here, and you can take a look at it. If the pipe is good enough, you can keep it. And that way it'll save you a little bit of work, not having to cut a new one. But we'll get that off. So we got that old piece right there. I don't really want to use that on our brand new disposal. With this piece, all we really have to do is wash it off. Like I said again though, you can use this also as a template to cut your new one. So if this is pretty worn out or pretty beat up, you can grab your new one, measure it with that, draw a line or something, and then cut it where you need to. Now we need to cut our pipe to length. So what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of compare both of these here. And this one is about right there. I'm going to do a little bit more though, just because we can always cut off again if we need to. So we'll cut it off to right about here. Now, it's best to have the proper tools when you do something like this. I've got a serrated knife instead of, say, a hacksaw, because not everyone has a hacksaw at home. Most people have these serrated knives though. It's going to dull your knife, I'm not going to lie. You're probably not going to be able to use the knife anymore, but it works in a pinch. So we'll just cut around the pipe here and try to do your best to cut a straight line all the way around. Notice I'm also wearing my gloves, especially doing something like this. I want to make sure you stay safe. Now, can't really tell, but I'm through on this side, so I'm just going to continue cutting around. Alright, and now let's break it off. It's a little rough around the edges. Definitely not my best work, but it'll do. Now before we climb under the sink again, what I'm going to do with our new disposal is I'm going to get rid of this orange sticker here. Now what this is it's for the dishwasher drainage. So if you don't have a dishwasher drainage already hooked up, you don't need to worry about this part. However, for our example, we do have a dishwasher hooked up, so we need to take this sticker off, and then what we need to do is get a screwdriver or something else to poke in here and just kind of give it a couple taps, and there's a piece of plastic. It's a plastic plug that you're going to have to try and knock out. So if you can't, the other thing is if you can't knock it out, if it's really in there, you get a hammer and tap on the end of that screwdriver. There we go. So here's the plastic plug we knocked out. It's in a few pieces, so I'm just going to make sure I clean out the disposal, get the rest of those little chunks out. Unscrew the bottom panel of your disposal. I'll be pulling out the wires through the round hole here. And we're going to connect the white wires together. And once the wires are connected, we'll use a wire nut to secure them. Now we'll do the same thing with the black wires. We're going to twist the wires together. And once they're twisted together, use a wire nut to secure them. And push the wires in one at a time so they fit through the hole. There we go. Now we can put the plate back on and screw it back down. So now what you want to do is make sure the disposal is facing the right way. So you got your connections here near the pipes. Then you can bring it up and line up these other little pieces here that connect onto the sink. And once you got that lined up, just twist it into place. And then adjust as needed, like so. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put our rubber gasket on first. Put that all the way up so it goes around the corner and there. Now put this metal piece on and we can put the pipe into the other pipe there. Now we just have to attach the pipe in here. So we just have to adjust it a little bit. Put this piece into place. And just make sure you screw this nice and tight into place so we don't get any leaks. And there we go. And now we can connect the dishwasher. So just line up the hose right there. Move the clamp forward into place and tighten it down. Now you can go back to your circuit breaker and turn it back on. Now we can put the splash guard in, and we'll just make sure that goes in there. Sits nice and tight. You just push it down around the edges until it gets to the bottom. And then you've got this part as well. So you can put the stopper in there whenever you want to plug up your sink. We'll just leave it out for now. We're going to run some water just to test it and make sure there's no leaks. And we'll turn it on, make sure everything is working properly. So it sounds like we don't have any problems, and your repair is complete. If you need to replace any parts for your appliances, you can find an OEM replacement part on our website, PCApplianceRepair.com. Thanks for watching, and please don't forget to like, comment, and share our video. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us make more videos just like these for you to watch for free.